What is up, everyone? It is episode 7 of the Scene and Screen podcast. I am the host, Alan, AG Reviews. I got Mr. Ronell here, Mr. 180. How you doing today, Ronell?
What's up, man?
Glad to have you on. I'm always happy when we get to do these streams, and I know it's a different day than what we normally do. Typically, we try to do it in the week, but for both of us, it seems like weekends might be a little bit easier. Obviously, it's been a jam-packed with news and stuff coming out in the last 2 weeks since we did our last show. So we could just get right into it. Right off rip. Obviously, the big release of the week was Peacemaker Season 2. I can kind of kick this off. I was not the biggest fan of the episode. There was some things in it I liked, some things I didn't like. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off here and start about that retcon that we had right at the beginning. They went and did the flashback to Season 1. Okay. And showed us the Justice Gang in the scene rather than the Justice League that we got in Season 1. So what was your initial reaction to that? How did you feel how it played out and how they retconned that?
I'm fine with it because if you're going in this new direction, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to kill that off. So I don't think people really going to care too much. I was okay with it. I thought that with James Gunn, one thing I do like about him, he's just not really scared to, do stuff like that. So with him, I kind of expect that kind of, So I was cool with it either way. I'm still not a fan of Hawk Girl, but.
Yeah, I think we've had our conversations about how they've portrayed her so far. Yeah, for me, I definitely enjoy. I thought it was the right decision. Obviously, that was the whole that was the big glaring, kind of negative about bringing Peacemaker into the DCU was you overtly had a scene in that first season that was oh no, that's the Justice League from the DCEU. So how they were going to handle that. And I thought it was smart to do the Justice Gang and it be that scene with Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner because, it kind of had the same comedic element that it was there with Flash and Aquaman in the first season. But, I guess we could kind of get more into the rest of the episode. I was a little confused in how they handled that retcon, considering that they kind of got into multiversal elements in the episode. I know it wasn't right off rip, right? But we had the situation with Peacemaker, and I'll just flat out say it. My favorite aspect of this episode was the storyline about him going into that alternate universe and being in that alternate reality where his dad's more of a good guy and his brother's alive. I thought that was very creative in a good way to kind of take the story. But then I also I'm sitting there and I'm I feel like this could have been the way that we retconned this or brought him into the DCU or, I don't know. I was just
Are you convinced though that he's a good guy? Or is that
no. Okay, so no. Let me rephrase. I would say more in a good guy in Chris's eyes, right? Because obviously, even in Season 1, the dude was clearly a bad person. It was a piece of shit. But Chris still in Season 1, Chris still kind of wanted to have that relationship with him and have that father and son bond. Whereas, and then he eventually became a villain. And then whereas this, they're fully in a good relationship with one another. And I liked how it did that kind of what if scenario where it played it out hey, they did have a stronger bond if his brother was still alive. I liked how that played out. And went in there. Obviously, I think it's going to be revealed that the Chris of that universe and Peacemaker of that universe, they're all bad guys. They're all out there doing terrible shit, So that's probably where, Peacemaker's going to end up turning on him and turning on his brother. But for me, multiverse wise, I know we've had some fun in this multiverse era in comics and in these TV shows and movies, but that was a great way to use the multiverse to tell like an emotional story, right? Like it was a personal
Okay.
Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that, you know.
Okay. Okay. So you know what I thought of?
Yep.
I thought of how Batman, Michael Keaton's Batman, explained the multiverse in Flash,
Yeah.
and I like DC's version more than I like
Marvels. Yeah.
Marvel's. And
Yeah.
so what I'm thinking is, uh, when his brother, his brother's still alive.
Yeah.
Again, I'm thinking they're all just evil, and
Yeah.
that Chris is just embraced more because this Chris is not. He hides behind the evil but he's not a bad guy.
Correct. Yeah.
In that,
Yeah.
like you said, in that one, they're just all bad,
Yeah.
and so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, I think that's
Uh,
what the conflict's going to be going forward. Is he's going to be in that universe a little longer, and he's going to start to realize, like, oh wait, nope, he's still bad. He's still my dad at core. You know, he's still got the flaws
yeah,
that even my version had. And then he's probably
yeah,
going to find
because
that out about
I
his
think
brother
what's
too.
yeah, I think what sent him is the fact that because he favored the older brother.
Yeah,
But what sent him that way was just because he died. So this is
yeah,
getting all right. He don't die. The relationship they have, they all could uh just run around. They got this technology, and they're racist as hell.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, that's coming. I know it's coming. I know it's
Yeah,
coming.
it's coming.
You know, yeah,
so
yeah,
so yeah, I thought about the way Michael Keaton explained it. It's still gonna happen. You're
yeah.
just it's just a different version of you know what's taking place. So
What's
regardless of what you do, this is who people are.
yeah, yeah.
This is
Yeah,
what
it's
it
not like
is.
you're right in a sense. It's not going to be like Marvel, where it's like you can have like a Loki and a Sylvie, right? Where it's like
Mhm.
these are two completely different characters, really. Like, yes, technically they're the same, but they're not, right?
Right.
I think you're right. It's going to be at the core. They're going to reveal, he's still that same guy doing the same things. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if for a couple episodes they kind of get us like emotionally invested in his brother, and then you find out he's
Oh
actually
yeah,
worse. That he's worse than the dad. You know.
he's terrible. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that because I'm not gonna lie. For me, that was like I said, that was my favorite part of the episode, and like when he
Mhm.
opened the door and saw his brother, like I got a little emotional. I was like, "Oh wow, like this is actually more
Holy yeah.
poignant than I thought it was going to be." So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think they're going to set us up, and they're definitely going to make him very despicable, and all of them really. He's going to find out, that even the Chris, that he ended up killing, is not good either, and is doing a bunch of bad stuff too. Okay, so yeah, we kind of jumped forward a little bit there just because I wanted to touch on that a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
What did you think of the intro?
I skipped it. I'm gonna watch it. I promise you, I'm gonna watch it.
I didn't
I
like it.
skipped it.
I didn't like it.
Oh, really?
I thought season one's intro was better. I thought the song, I
Okay.
thought the choreography. I don't know
Okay.
why they changed it. I didn't see a reason to do that. I don't know if it's going to be a thing going forward where they do a different song and dance number every season. Like maybe that's
Okay.
the plan. That's what James wants to do. But yeah, I don't know. I was a little disappointed. Me and Caitlin watched it together, and like the moment I heard the different song, I was like, oh man. I'm like, I kind of wanted them to bring the song back, but yeah,
So this is what me and James done. So you kind of confirmed something, even though I didn't watch it, but this is the vibe I was getting from watching the first episode. The love-hate relationship I have with James Gunn is that he'll do something, it'll go great, but then the next time he does it, it's kind of over exaggerated.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I loved Guardians of the Galaxy. The first one,
Volume
amazing.
2, though, yeah, I agree.
Second, yeah, so it's like even with uh And I hate to say he's one of those producers that could just make one great movie and then he got to move on. I mean, directors that he makes a great movie, got to move on. Now, where I think it'll be, if he over exaggerates in the second Superman movie, I'm fine with it because I don't care for the first one.
You didn't like the vibe that we got in the first
I
one,
didn't
yeah,
like the vibe, but if he over exaggerates in that, cool. Because
yeah,
the thing is about James Gunn, like he gives me he gives me detail on stuff.
yeah,
When I watched Brightburn and how that was detailed,
yeah.
it was like, oh man. So he can go to that edge, but then it's like he'll just
He'll go
take
over,
off.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. I kind of agree
that's
with you too, where I think like he does do seem to do his best work with any series that he's a part of early on. Like
yeah.
when you start to get a little, he sticks around for a little bit too long. That's when I
Mhm.
start to kind of not like that stuff. Like you said with Guardians. Although Guardians 3, I liked Guardians 3 a lot.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
like
it was
Guardians
much
3.
better than 2 in my eyes. But yeah,
Yeah.
I do tend to agree with that. And then Brightburn too. That was a good shout. I'd forgotten he didn't direct that one though. He only wrote it. He wrote the
But I
script.
love it. Yeah, yeah,
But
and I
yeah, it was
love
good.
that.
But it was good. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. There were some things about the episode, and then too, like we'll talk about the shock moment of the episode with the big ass orgy that they had.
That's what I'm saying.
I was just like, dude, honestly, you know what it felt like to me because this season was, the first season was in 2022. That was right around the same time of season 3 of The Boys. I'm like, dude, this dude watched The Boys and saw Hero Gasm and said, you know what? I'm putting that in season 2. That was the vibe I got. And I was like, you know what? He's copying The Boys here. He's copying The Boys here.
Yeah, dude.
Uh,
Again, with James, man. I don't know. Man, I lost my train of thought. It was something I had to say about that whole. Well, pretty much that's what I was saying. Like even with the whole orgy thing, it's like I didn't need that, man.
yeah. It was a
I
little,
like. Oh,
little
this is what I
crazy.
was gonna say. He does. He does this real well. He gives you a comic book movie.
Yeah.
He gives you the comic book vibe. I love that about James Gunn. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, he does.
yeah, he gives you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this whole even with the orgy thing, it's like, okay, this is James Gunn. He gets into this realm, he pulls the gloves off. I just was like, man, you gave me about 3 minutes of that. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
dude, it was
Yeah.
funny when the old boy was looking in the house and he like, what the all that was funny to me. Like,
Yeah.
but it's like, dang,
Yeah.
dude, you laying it heavy.
Heavy.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah. And then yeah, I mean, we kind of and they also went and they touched base, with all the previous supporting characters, right? I think
Yeah.
Economist is hilarious. The guy
Yeah.
who was staking, I think he's funny. I just love his sense of humor, and what they do with him.
Yeah.
Obviously, too, they had Amelia Harcourt. They had that amazing fight scene, that bar scene. I was like, I
Oh
was
yeah.
I was down with what they did there with that action sequence. That was really cool. But I don't know, a little bit
Let
of
me ask you this.
feels a little nepotism to me, but well, that's another conversation. But
Are we getting like two stories
yeah,
in
I
this?
think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
got General Flag and then you got his father. So we're getting two different stories in the same, series.
yeah. I think they showed us the preview, like for the remainder of the season, and it kind
Okay.
of touched on how there's probably going to be one storyline going in that alternate reality, while
Okay.
the main DCU is going to have people trying to go after him and get him back, and that's kind of going to be the conflict, I think, of the entire season. And then yeah, hopefully we get some resolution with Rick Flag Sr. Because obviously that's been a thread that's been
Yeah.
dangling since the first Suicide Squad when he killed Rick Jr. So and I feel like
Yeah.
honestly that's the one thing that the Peacemaker has done where I'm like, yeah, he kind of does need to face some consequences for that one. That was a big one,
Yeah.
I liked
That
Rick
was
Flag
huge.
Jr. Yeah, that was the moment in the movie where like when that happened, I knew about the show. I was like, ooh, I don't know if people are going to like this guy after he just did that, but they made it
So
work.
you
So
so you think bringing it back is gonna be huge for the like just not letting that go, just bringing that storyline back. Because I figured once they had General Flag
yeah.
coming into they were gonna touch bases on that. So you think that'll work?
I think it'll. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. The only reason I say that is because I just don't think that Senior is going to be as likable as Junior was. I think a lot of people were on board with Junior, and I mean, again, we haven't really gotten much of Senior yet, so I don't know. I don't really know how it's going to play out. I just think at some point, I'm glad that I feel like as much as I've liked Chris and I've liked Peacemaker, like he's got to face some consequences for that because that was probably
Okay.
his biggest thing. Where oh, you
Yeah.
just killed someone who was a good person. That was the one moment that we've seen. Which is surprising to me, though, too, because he's doing these retcons, and I'm like, man, the Suicide Squad had more hints to the old DC universe than Peacemaker did, and then we're bringing in his dad to kind of go with that story. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season for sure. I mean, it was a good it was a good start. I think I told you, though, we talked about it privately. I was like, I feel like they should have did 2 episodes to start it off.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I feel like that would have got me a little bit more hooked when I saw where it went. And then obviously too, we didn't even talk about how at the end he fights himself and kills himself, which that was a cool sequence. I thought that whole fight sequence in the little dimension reality room that they got was pretty cool.
I gotta finish watching it. I didn't get.
Oh, you didn't finish it. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
You good? No.
I thought you saw the whole episode.
Alan, it's me, dude. You good?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back because where I left off, was when he was sitting down talking to his father and his brother.
Oh, okay. So you don't have much left then. You were right.
Yeah.
You were pretty much right before what I was talking about with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know you don't care about spoilers. Essentially, the Chris of that reality shows up and they fight, and he ends up killing him. And that's what I think the storyline going forward is going to be. Is him trying to essentially mask as the Chris that he took out. So,
gotcha. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
okay.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm excited. I think I still think the season has potential to be overall solid, right? But I wasn't blown away by the first episode. Of all the episodes of the show, it's probably one of my least favorite. I feel like season 1 was really strong all the way through. So yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at with it. Yep. Any more thoughts on Peacemaker?
No.
Cool.
No, I think we covered it.
Yep. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic. And have you? I guess we should. I never really asked you or had a conversation. Have you seen The Boys or any of the spinoffs or anything like that?
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Have you watched any of The Boys stuff, like The Boys, the show?
I didn't watch the spinoffs.
Okay.
So, but just freshen me up. Like, what's because I'm into the main story.
Okay.
Like,
so
I read
basically,
the comic books.
Yeah. So they did a spinoff. It was called Gen V. It basically was about like a superhero college. And how it kind of just expanded the world and the lore a little bit more, and like how they train up these superheroes, and it's kind of all this corporate BS that we knew about from the original show, and it's like it's like their I don't know, it's hard to say. It's like their like if you look at it for like sports, right? It's like their college football teams, right? Like they go to these colleges and they kind of train to be a superhero. And there were storylines. Did you see season 4 of The Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they brought in some of the characters from Gen V. Homelander did. He was teaming up with some of the characters there. It was pretty much just a whole
he brought in like 2
storyline.
people, didn't he?
Yeah, it was Kate and Sam, and yeah, there was a whole thing. I mean, it's hard for me to explain the whole plot of the show, but it was like a whole conspiracy about how they were kidnapping and torturing certain soups, and Billy had kind of discovered it in that show. So it was a way for them to kind of bridge the gaps in between the Boys seasons, and stuff. So that's coming out. The second season of that show is coming out. I want to say in September, so next month. They had announced that. And then they also had this was kind of the news part I wanted to talk about. They had announced that they are doing a prequel called Vought Rising, about like the early days of Vought, and Jensen
Really?
Ackles. Yeah, and Jensen Ackles is coming back as Soldier Boy. I think he's the lead. I haven't really seen any like
Oh yeah.
confirmation about that.
I ain't
But
even
they
got to
like,
watch nothing about it, and I'm already
oh
invested. Cause
yeah,
dude, I
yeah,
love
oh
yeah.
dude, him as Soldier Boy. That's he's one of the best characters in
Mm-hmm.
all the show. Um, so yeah, and they kind of like de-aged him. They released a photo of him, and he looks pretty young. Um,
He stays in good shape anyway. So
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's
like
old.
honestly, if you
He's on the older side, but he still looks super young. For
yeah, if
yeah.
you want to give me a cap re do a
Oh,
old
Reba,
cap to
yeah,
the
yeah.
you can do
Oh, he'd be
you can
good.
do him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Matter of
Well,
fact, if you want to play Bruce Wayne,
I was
all
gonna
right,
say,
hey,
yeah.
he can play Batman.
A lot of people have fan casted him as Batman, and I think he could do it. Especially if
Oh yeah.
they're going the like more fantastical route with
Yeah.
the DCU Batman. I think he could
Yeah.
definitely pull that off. But yeah, so I mean, that's kind of funny though. You didn't know about that prequel. So like, what are your
I
thoughts? Like, is
didn't.
that's something that I'm assuming you're probably excited for?
Oh yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
definitely get into that. That
yeah,
I'm looking forward to because I was such a fan. Like I'm a fan of the comics,
yeah.
the boys comic book, and
You might be one of the
I
only ones.
think they were. Yeah, that's crazy because if Alan, if you read the
Yeah.
comic is great.
A lot of
Just
people
like
say it's not.
just like
Yeah, a lot of
Invincible.
people don't. A lot of
Really?
people don't like. Oh yeah, people.
What?
I've seen a lot of people who say that the TV is like vastly superior. The TV show is way better than the
Nah,
comics.
you know what? See, that's those. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh, everybody likes a good ending.
Yeah,
Everybody, you know why maybe people like the Invincible comic book is because it has a good ending, even though it's
yeah,
screwed up. This is one of those comics that there's no good ending.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Um,
because I've kind of read like
yeah,
the plot outline, so I know what happens in the comics. I mean, obviously too with what they built up with the show, like it's pretty different, right? We're in a different
yeah,
storyline at this point.
yeah,
But I still think we're gonna go. Once with season 5 coming soon, I think it's gonna be a bad ending too. I don't think we're gonna get a happy ending that everybody wants with that.
yeah.
You know.
And so I'm on board with because guess what? Even with him, Jason Eccles, um, it's gonna be a bad ending with that the
Oh
prequel.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like I don't I don't know what people look. The Boys is a terrible, terrible. It's supposed to be. It's meant to be terrible. So yeah, I'm into it, man.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I can't wait till it
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah. I can. And obviously too. I can't wait for season 5, which is supposed to be the final
Oh yeah,
season, at least of the main show.
yeah.
Pretty much, Anthony Starr came out, and made a whole like heartfelt goodbye post because they wrapped on filming for
Okay.
season 5. Just talking about how much the role for him with Homelander,
Yeah.
impacted his career and everything. And I mean, for me, like him as Homelander, that is generational casting. I mean, he's one of the greatest villains ever. I mean, just the
Yeah.
way, just the
Yeah.
mannerisms that he does as Homelander, I'm like, dude, like that is someone that would terrify me if they were real. Like
You
straight
know what
up.
he gives me. I know this is the reach. He gives me the Heath Ledger like
Yeah.
kind of vibe with
Oh, I
that.
don't think that's a
Like
reach at all. I don't think it's a reach at all.
he really gets into Homelander, and
Yeah.
I've seen him in other things, and it's like okay, I never knew he had this range.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I didn't see him having this range, so
Yeah.
yeah, I was impressed that he nailed Homelander.
Yeah. He
He
did.
nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, I mean, at least in my opinion, into the final season, I don't believe that Homelander's going to be around going forward. I think this is really it because I don't think he would have made that post, and B, I just think that we're heading towards that final confrontation between him and Billy. It's what we've been building
Oh
up
yeah,
to for
yeah,
5 seasons, and now that Billy is on the other side, and is kind of he's kind of teetering on being a villain at this point after what happened last season. I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see where they take it, and how. And like I said, it kind of ties back into the whole Gen V thing. Like that's clearly going to be the show that takes it forward. After the main boys ends, but. I'm just curious. I'm very curious how they play it out. I wasn't a huge fan of season 4. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was the weakest season of the show.
Okay,
but only because it felt like it was set up for season 5. Like it didn't.
Yeah,
it
one
felt
of
like
those setups.
And season 3 when we got Soldier Boy and like that was such a strong season that I feel like it was kind of hard for it to be followed up. But yeah, either way, though, I'm still very, very excited for these couple shows that we got going forward and what they're going to do in the future with the boys. It's I like it so much though because it's just so unique, and it's just like it's like a commentary, kind of like Watchmen in the same sense, where it's like they it's like subverting all expectations on what we have of the genre. And
Yes, and that's the thing I like. So I don't have to have a happy ending in these stories.
No.
Especially when you're dealing with comic books or novels and things like that. I don't have to have somebody giving me honestly, I know this is off topic, but if you ever read the Blade Runner, I mean not Blade Runner, but the Running Man, the actual book, and opposed to what they brought out with Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's different, So again, you can give me these things, and that's why I'm invested with the boys because I want to see that. Now, I do want to see what they're gonna do with what's the old boy that plays the CEO or the president of VOD. He's a good actor, man.
You said who?
Great
I didn't hear you.
The guy who plays the president of VOD before Homelander did all that bull crap to get him fired.
Damn, I can't remember his name. I know who you're talking about though. He was
He's supposed to be old boy in the comics. The guy in the comics never was afraid of Homelander. And he was the one that so I wonder if they're gonna bring him back because he's such a huge piece in the comics.
Did he I don't remember. Did he kill him?
No,
Homelander?
No,
okay.
No, why?
I can't remember.
And that's the thing I love about this because with Homelander, he wouldn't kill him in the comics because he wasn't afraid of him, and he knew where to hit. He was the actual supervillain of the whole, So if they bring that dude, I want to see if they're going to bring that back in because the way it ended with them two, what was that, season 3?
No, I want to say I thought that was the first season, if I remember.
Because the first season,
I thought so. Maybe it's been a while since I've watched it, but I thought it was early in the first season when he went and like he talked to him about what happened to him and stuff. And
no, not that guy. I'm talking about the guy who plays. Remember, he said,
I remember.
Yeah.
The guy,
said,
Gus, the guy who plays Gus Fring. Yeah.
He said we're not a superhero company. We're a pharmaceutical company.
Yes.
And he dogged Homelander.
Yeah. Oh, bad.
Yeah. So the guy in the he's supposed to be the guy in the comics who's the president of VOT.
Okay.
He's not scared of Homelander. He's the actual supervillain. Of the whole. So I wonder if they're going to bring him back in season 5.
I wonder. Yeah, because actually, now that you bring that up, Victoria set him up. Victoria Newman, and he was in jail. So I wonder if now that she's dead, that they're going to bring him back in for that final season. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything like announced of him being in it, but that would make sense if they did something like that.
Yeah, because he's the only person that keeps Homelander
in check.
So we'll see.
No, definitely looking forward to it, man. It's I'm a little upset that we're ending, but it kind of feels like the right time. It's 5 seasons now. It's like Yeah, it seems like it's time. I don't want them because they always make fun of the endless sequels in the comic book genre and all that. So it would feel it wouldn't be right if they kept going, right? Like that's the type of show that's got to end a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, end
You
it.
know?
Go
Yeah,
ahead, man.
yeah.
Dude,
Well,
that's
especially
fine.
too, they got the spinoffs going that are doing good
Yeah,
too. So
yeah.
they can do it. They can do it. So
So do you? Oh, well, no, we'll talk about this another time. We can keep going.
no, you're good. You can shoot it. That's fine.
So you're saying, like I was thinking about this. This is a little side note, but like with
Yeah,
Daredevil, is it time to bring him off the series and bring him into the movies? Should they end it with this Born Again and bring him into the movies now?
I would love that. I would love
Okay,
it. As much as I
okay,
love the TV show, once we get season 2 of Born Again, that's 5 seasons that we've gotten of Daredevil, and
yeah,
well, and two, and then he appeared in the Defenders. He made
yeah,
if I remember correctly, I think he made a cameo in Jessica Jones. So at this
yeah,
point, yeah, I think it's time. That's why I don't understand why he's not in Brand New Day. What are we doing here? I mean,
yeah,
you had the
yeah.
layup, man. Put him in Spider-Man. Everyone was so excited when he showed up in No Way Home. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, he could be one of them characters, even though you don't give him a movie, he can be on the big screen.
Yeah,
Like that cameo in what was it, No Way Home?
in No Way Home, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Dude, the theater erupted. Everyone went crazy when that
Honestly,
happened. Yeah.
honestly, I know they're bringing Punisher in, but I would have honestly rather Daredevil be in that
Same.
place.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So
I thought, when they announced Punisher, I thought that it was gonna he was gonna get announced shortly after. But then they
okay.
started adding, because they officially confirmed Hulk, and now there's rumors about Yelena being in it. I'm like, I don't know what story we're going with here, but yeah. But we'll get into that. I have Marvel on here on my
Okay.
list, so we'll get a
Okay.
little bit more into that in a bit. That's definitely one of the things I wanted to talk about, with
Okay.
Marvel. Okay, so yeah, let's move on. Alien Earth. I mean, the 3 episodes. So it's been 3 episodes. They dropped 2
Yeah.
the week before. I myself, I talked to you about it. I personally watched all 3 today.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'll let you kick this one off. What are your thoughts so far on these 3 episodes of Alien Earth, and are you excited with where you think they might be going?
So I don't think you can ever really with me mess up an alien movie.
Yeah,
Only time they really messed up the alien movie. Know where you about to, the only time they really
3 and
messed it up.
Resurrection exist, but we'll
No, hold up. 3 was actually good to me, and I'll tell you why. Dude, they didn't know how to handle that whole situation.
dude.
And it was just out of Resurrection was more funny. It was more funny
Oh,
because of
that
the
was terrible.
cast.
Yeah, it was
It
terrible.
was terrible.
It
Yeah,
was
it was definitely
yeah,
terrible. But it was
yeah,
just funny because of who they had cast.
yeah,
3, I love 3 though. I love it. So the only this is where they messed it up for me. Alien versus Predator, the first one.
yeah,
Requiem, I kind of like that one. It was okay. It wasn't bad. I really like the Predator more than anything coming in and just handling it by
yeah,
himself. Um, and then if you get into the backstory of the Predator and Alien and all that, so I really them 2 may have been the only ones in Resurrection, but you can't really mess up a like I love Prometheus and Alien Covenant, right?
yeah, yeah.
And then the last one that just came out,
Romulus,
um,
yeah,
Romulus, I
yeah.
loved it.
It was great.
This though, uh, dude, where they're getting more into the androids, Wayland and there's other competitors. Dude, I don't know about you, but the way that they integrated them kids into the android was messed up, dude. I
Dude,
was like,
I'll say I loved Romulus.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
even just 3 episodes in, this is my favorite thing since of Alien that
yeah.
we have gotten probably since Aliens. I'm
Oh
going to be
yeah,
honest.
oh yeah,
Um,
oh yeah.
the lore expansion that we got in the
Yeah,
show was
yeah,
incredible. Like you said, the fact that they said he was a trillionaire, by the way, the
yeah,
main head of Prodigy, this new company.
yeah, yeah, that,
Like you said,
yeah.
the fact that they're exploiting sick children to
Yes, dude.
create these hybrid androids. I'm like, dude, that is such an incredible way for us to get attached to the main character and care.
Yeah,
Because Wendy is a kid. Like that, I know she's an
he's a
android, but
kid.
like that is a kid. And
A
then you
kid.
add in, and I don't want to jump forward too much here, but like you add in the backstory of her wanting to see her brother and to
Oh
save her
yeah,
brother who is
yeah,
involved in this crash
yeah.
that's happening. I was watching that because I've seen some people, I've seen the reactions because I was, a week and a half late in starting it. And I've seen the reactions and I've seen some people complaining about it. And I'm like, what is there to complain about this show? I'm like, this is a home run to me. Immediately, I'm like,
Dude,
everything about this that they've introduced, I've loved. And then not even to mention all the Android stuff, dude, they're introducing new specimens, new aliens, new creatures.
bro. That I
Bro,
said to say, bro.
that bug?
That
Oh my god, no. Fuck that. I'm out. See you guys later. I'm gone. I ain't
I
dealing with
said
that
the
thing.
same
Yep.
thing. I was like, yo, what's this? What's this good stuff? So
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you
Yeah.
on that. Oh, dude, the last episode.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm jumping forward
No, go ahead.
too
Yeah,
much.
we can just talk about what we want at this point with it. It's 3 episodes, so we can't break the entire thing. So we'll talk about our points that we want to say, and go from
So
there.
I appreciate that this always this because I got my daughter watching it and she's loving it, and
Yeah.
I'm like I appreciate what I appreciate is they always tried to weaponize this thing. So when they
Yeah.
took uh we've never seen them take it out of the what they call the face clamper, whatever it's called. Take the baby out of that. Never seen that. That
No.
tripped me out.
Yeah.
Then putting it in the water, it literally goes into that in the lungs because that's where it
Yeah.
comes out of.
Yeah.
So seeing that whole sequence flipped me out.
Yeah.
Finally, these synthetics or androids, whatever you want to call them, dude, she is off the chain.
Yeah.
Marcy or whatever it is, off
Yeah.
the chain. But you never got that. Like in the first Alien, okay, he was if you watch the first Alien, that android was off the chain, but he wasn't like what they did with her.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to see that aspect of the android. Like, can they fight the alien? Dude,
Yeah.
that fight with her and that alien?
Oh, dude. Dude.
Yeah.
I was enthralled by the whole entire sequence. I thought it was so well done.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and like you said, it's like we've never really spent a lot of time, with the androids. They kind of started that. I feel like they kind of laid the groundwork a little bit in Romulus.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember old boy's name.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, he was great
They
in
did.
that one. And
Yeah,
I feel like
yep.
they kind of tried to lay the groundwork of like humanizing the androids in a way.
Yeah.
And now that they're doing this hybrid where essentially it's still the android body, but the mind of a person and a child specifically.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's just so intriguing to me. That is something that they took the concept of Alien and like the story they're telling with it isn't. It's kind of familiar, right, with this franchise, but
Yeah.
giving that starting point and having it be from a different perspective is. I'm like, this is such a fresh and original idea. Like they can do this for a couple seasons, like no doubt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This can, because they can, even if it's not with this character specifically, like they can start laying the foundation everywhere with other characters too to set it up in future seasons. So
I like I like that. I like that there's
Yeah.
different companies because Wayland has always been like the main
yeah,
company
that
trying
too.
to,
We haven't really gotten to that. How it's competing companies trying to get to this first and get this done first. to sell and profit and make more money.
Yeah.
Which that's always been kind of
And
like
so
a
I
common
wonder.
common thing in Alien is that it's like corporate greed and what these corporations do to harm
Yeah,
humanity and all that. I thought that was great.
yeah. I, I did think of this too, and I was waiting for this to talk about when we got on. Um, so let's just say, uh, here's where I think they're going to segue. I could be wrong. I haven't did any research on it. I think they're going to segue predators coming to Earth again in this series.
Yeah,
Here's why I say that. They're I think they're setting it up to where these things get loose on Earth. And it's not just going to be between the companies trying to fight this thing. It's going to get to the point where the predators are going to have to step in.
yeah,
So
I think you're right.
I think they're gonna mingle this with the predators.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I think it's a slow build too. I don't think.
oh yeah, you don't
I
have to
think
rush this.
Yeah, they're not rushing it. I think we're getting obviously Predator Badlands in November. I think
Yeah,
they're just gonna loosely plant seeds for it. I don't think
yeah,
we're gonna rush into it or anything. They're gonna plant the seeds in that movie, because they already are doing in Badlands the Wayland android in that movie
yep,
too.
yep,
So I don't think we're gonna rush into this, and I think that's the right way to go. Considering, like you said, with the way they handled those first two Alien vs Predator movies, they botched it. I mean, even if you got some enjoyment out of those movies, you know that
yeah.
it
It
could have been
was,
done. It could have been done so much better,
yeah, yeah,
And with the people now who are at the helm and who are, directing the movies and now this TV show, they seem like, all right, we know how big this can be. Like once we
yeah.
get to that point, and it seems like they want to do it right, which
Okay.
that gives me so much confidence. I'm like, okay, we're doing what we should have did 20 years ago when we did the first one. Um, and yeah, man, I'm excited. It's a very I always thought that it was maybe going to be a mistake that Disney got these franchises, but I don't know. I'm like the way they're doing it. I'm like, dude, they're killing it right
Yeah,
now. They're killing it.
I think Disney. If you, I think they came to the agreement if we're gonna get all these shows or and get all these rights to stuff, we can't hold it back because they're trying to keep this Disney image. No, dude, you gotta
No,
just let it go.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't. Yeah. So
And
I'm with it.
we're gonna kind of talk about later like some of Disney's stuff that they're doing and
Okay.
how the brand is changing. And like to me, this series, like Alien and Predator both, what they're doing with it is
Yeah.
kind of an indication with me that like no, Disney's trying to evolve here. They're not trying to
Oh
just stick
yeah.
with their, family friendly brand, especially since they got
Yeah.
Fox. It really seems like once they got Fox,
Yeah.
they wanted to have a brand on the Fox side still that was more adult centered and other
Okay.
content, not like main Disney, but
Right.
um yeah, it's man. Sorry, I know we're getting off on a tangent here, but dude, I was so impressed by those 3 episodes, man. I was like, this
Yeah, man. I
is
knew you like it. I
yeah,
knew once you.
and
I knew
I
you
knew I
like
would
it.
too. Yeah, everything from the previews that I've seen, I was like, yeah, it's definitely going to be my cup of tea. It was really just about me getting time to sit down and watch it. And now that I'm caught
Yeah.
up, I'll every Tuesday, in 2 days from now, I'll be 9 p.m. I'll be at my TV. I'll be watching that bad boy. So yeah, man, it was just great. And then too, I like the design of the Xenomorph. I've heard people kind of complain about that too, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I thought it looked good. I was
You know what? I realized to just a lot of this stuff, you just got to watch it for yourself
yeah,
because people, man, people picky. I think that's why a lot of stuff, when you get to listening to, I think as a director or producer, you get to listening to a lot of people instead of just bringing your
doing
idea
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
that's when you feel like so
Yeah,
everybody's gonna have an opinion, and it's gonna be even louder now that social media is so big.
yeah.
Dude, these 3 episodes were great,
Oh, great.
and
Yeah,
yeah, I don't.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I didn't even get a chance to mention. I loved oh boy, Timothy Oliphant. Is
Oh yeah,
he was like the main android for Prodigy. I thought
yeah,
that he was great. The cast overall, like everybody in this so far has been perfectly cast and has done
yeah,
great jobs so far. You
yeah,
know, and then too, like you said, with the whole kid angle, like even just the scene of her having to go be the big sister, right? To
yeah, man.
all those other kids, I'm like, man, dude, as a parent, dude, this is hitting me, man. This is hitting, tugging at my heartstrings here. I'm like, I just wasn't expecting this. I was like, I didn't think they were gonna go
No,
here. You know,
yeah,
definitely a surprising storyline, but one that was very, very welcoming and very well done.
yeah.
So yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll move on unless you got anything else to add
Nah, I
on
think
that.
we
I
covered
mean,
it.
I'm assuming we're gonna have plenty more to talk about as the season starts unfolding.
Oh yeah,
In general, going forward. So we'll talk more about it, at another time. So yeah, I wanted to move on. There was some Scary Movie 6 news that dropped before then. I'll kind of start off with you. Like, are you a fan of any of the Scary Movies, or has that ever been like a franchise that you've enjoyed, or did you like it?
one, two, maybe, but I know I remember you told me you watched the newest films coming out. You said it wasn't bad.
Well,
Um,
so the new one, there's a new one coming out next summer,
okay.
and the Wayne's brothers are back. So they were obviously the ones that did the first two. Um,
So wait. So are they doing scary movie or oh so
yeah,
they're
they're doing Scary
oh
Movie
wait,
6.
hold up. Yeah, first two. Oh, so they're getting back into I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, they're coming back to write and direct like how they did with those first two films,
Okay.
which to me I think were the best scary movies. I
Those are
thought,
the best, yeah.
yeah, those were the funniest. They riffed on the most popular franchises. Once you got
I
into
was
3 and
thinking, you know what
4
I
and
was thinking? I was
past,
thinking Scream. I wasn't
oh
thinking.
no, 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 yeah, dude, I had this conversation about this before. How like that movie, because it was so popular as a spoof, that they're
Yeah.
so interconnected. Like people don't even know the difference between like the regular Scream horror movie and then the scary movie
Scary
spoof.
movie.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, no, they're different movies. Like, because
Totally different. Yeah.
I've had conversations with people where like when recently the Scream movies were coming out, and they were like, "Oh, isn't that the one with the where the guy has the hook and then it's the girl running and she has the fake boob?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, that's Scary
No, that's
Movie,
not
man.
it.
That's
Yeah.
the spoof. That's the one where they make fun of it." Um, yeah. So no. So this is about so yeah. So the Wayne's brothers are coming back to do another scary movie, which a lot of people are excited about, and myself included, because those first two
So
were the best. But
have you listened to the backstory of how that whole thing went down with the Wayans brothers and because Keenan Ivory is actually the mastermind behind all of it.
behind it,
He's
yeah,
he's yeah, like if you ever watch I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, if you ever
yeah,
watch Don't Be a Menace, he's the brains
yeah,
behind all of those like spoofs.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I'm I think I'm with it now because I was thinking Scream, but Scary
yeah,
Movie, yeah, I'm with it. But
yeah.
if it's Keenan Ivory Wayans getting into it, um, then
I
I'm
th-
definitely for it.
I think it is. I think it's going to be the same
Okay,
thing where Marlon is going to be in the movie, like he's going to be
okay,
starring in the movie. I would find it hilarious if he came back as Shorty. That'd be incredible.
yeah,
I would love
yeah,
that. Yeah, I don't know though. I'm assuming, yeah, Keenan. He's directing. He's directing.
okay,
Keenan is,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Then
So
yeah,
we're
I'm with
we're
it.
going back, to what we did, and then yeah, Marlon's going to be starring in it. And then they announced you that Anna Faris and Regina Hall are coming
Regina
back as
Hart.
well.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm overall, I'm just
Like
like I'm ecstatic for it.
yeah,
Yeah,
because I like Anna Faris.
yeah,
She's like, dude, that's her. Like she
yeah,
could
yeah.
never be in a serious movie ever.
No,
She
just because
has
of
to.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, she does those so well, man.
good.
So
Yeah,
and then Regina Hall, that makes sense. So bring the
yeah,
old kind of crew back. Is Sean gonna be in it too?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything confirming. Oh wait, no. Yes, he is. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
so
coming
they
back.
just bring
Yeah,
it back most of the,
pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I think actually it shows too. They're getting back Shannon Elizabeth, who was one of the girls in the first one, and then Carmen
Yeah.
Electra too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're getting pretty much the whole
The
crew
whole.
back
Okay. Okay.
from the original. Yeah. So and I'm excited for it too, just because there has been such a resurgence in the horror genre, and they've had the whole like requel, thing
Yeah.
that they can make fun of. A
Yeah.
lot of the supernatural stuff that they've done that they didn't get to really make fun of in those early movies. I'm like, I feel like there's a lot of material that they can definitely play off of in this new film, and
Yeah.
getting them
They.
back. I mean, they're hilarious. I mean,
Oh
a lot,
yeah. Oh
everything they
yeah.
do together. It's great.
Yeah. So I'm a huge Wayans. The family, the Wayans. I'm a huge fan of
Yeah,
that. Whatever they touch, if it's them touching it, I'm in for
you're in.
it.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm good on that. Yep, I'm definitely on.
yeah. Yeah, like for me, like I said, I grew up on those original two.
Oh yeah.
I watched like even I mean they even still have memes from the second one with the guy with the hand. Like they still
Oh
meme that
dude,
even nowadays. Like that's still a you want my strong hand?
take
That's
my
still a
strong
thing.
hand.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I can imagine that they're probably gonna cook up something funny, just based off
Yeah,
all because it's
man.
I think that second one came out in like 2001 or 2002. It was early 2000s,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's over 20 years worth of horror movies now that they can make fun of.
Shoot, what do they got now? They got. I mean, they could go what the new It's. They could
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
What
they could
else?
go.
I haven't.
I mean, honestly, they could even circle back and do a little bit of Scream since they brought that back. They could
Oh,
do
Annabelle.
Terrifier. Conjuring that whole
Yeah,
franchise.
The Conjuring. Yep.
Yeah. They can do like the elevated horror stuff, right? So like they can make fun of like Jordan Peele and his films and like
Yeah.
Hereditary stuff like that. Like they can. That's what I mean. It's like the genre since the last time they did one of these movies. It's been so many ebbs and flows and so many different things. It's like they
So yeah,
a bunch of stuff they can make fun of.
yeah,
So,
absolutely,
yeah. So definitely looking forward to that. Um,
absolutely.
okay, so yeah, we'll move on and just kind of trooper through these last couple topics. So for me personally, I don't know what you have gotten to see recently. The last two movies that I got to see though before since the last podcast were Weapons and Nobody Two. Have you gotten to see anything? We were just kind of gonna
I
talk.
haven't gotten to see, but like you're gonna have to, guide me, and you could talk about it. So
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead, man, because I'm
yeah,
I'm really really interested in both of those movies.
yeah.
So yeah, go ahead, man.
So Weapons, for me, that was the first. That was the one I was seeing right after our last show. It might be my favorite movie of the year. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh
I've seen it.
really?
Yeah, man. So the way it plays the mystery of it
Okay.
is very unique. Like essentially the I
Now,
won't
are you doing a spoiler? Because
I,
I don't
I
care.
yeah, I'll talk some spoilers. I don't want to go into it fully, right? I don't want to
Okay.
I won't reveals. I'll kind of just lay out like how the movie's structured. Because I thought that was the thing to me that worked so well about it is
Mhm.
the movie is in chapters, like literally in chapters.
Okay.
And each chapter takes place from a different perspective of a different character.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it plays into the mystery because each time you get a new chapter with a new character, it reveals just a little bit more about what's really going on.
Hmm.
And the reveal when you get to the reveal, and again, I won't spoil that just because if anyone's watching this, I don't want to if they haven't seen it or anything. When you
Gotcha.
get to the reveal, it's not the most like groundbreaking thing. Like it's something that you probably could have predicted, but the way that it plays out just makes it so effective that by the time you get there, you're like, I feel exhausted by the time you get to the
Oh,
ending. And it's in a good way, right? It was like it does
okay.
it it builds tension. Like it'll build in a sequence with each chapter. It'll build tension, and it'll get to a point where like stuff is really going to boil over and start to get crazy, and then it cuts and goes to somebody else. And normally I would be like, I hate when it does that because then it's kind of like a dick thief, really.
Yeah.
And but in the movie, the way it does it, it just works so well. So when you finally get to that ending, it's like it just feels so satisfying. You're like, oh, okay, now I see what they were trying to do.
Okay.
And man, even if you don't go out to see Weapons, I would recommend. I mean, I know you're not like a huge horror guy, so the guy who does it, Zach Kreger, his first movie, Barbarian, was kind of in the same way. Yeah, it's the same. It's kind of the same. It's not the chapter style, but it's in the same way where like you think that the movie is playing out one way and then it really goes another direction, and you're like, I wasn't expecting that at all. That's kind of how it was here, where it was like, they set it up. It was just the mystery about the kids and everything. Like that's right off rip. You don't even see when the kids disappear. They start the movie and we're right into when the kids are gone. And which I wasn't expecting. I thought maybe we'd get like an opening sequence where they show the incident and everything, but nope. It's just like, nope, we're right into it.
All right. So could you give me this? Could you give me this?
Yep.
Is it some entity that takes them, or is it somebody in the town? Could you give me that?
It is both it's hard for me to say without outright spoiling it. It is somebody. Right. I will say that. There is definitely some entity involved, though, with that person. I will say that. And when you watch it, I know, like, I've seen movies with you before, too, so I know that you could pick up on stuff pretty quick. So when you see it, you'll probably know in the first, like, 30 minutes, because they kind of give you clues. And especially, I saw it twice. And when I went back and saw it the second time, oh, yeah, I had to. When I went back and saw it the second time, though, I was watching the beginning, and I'm like, oh, it was right there. They showed you right at the beginning, but you just didn't know because of the way they reveal the story. So, yeah, it was a very layered experience. I was very happy with it. I'm debating on whether or not between that or Sinners of what's my favorite movie of the year so far. I think I'll probably have to rewatch both of them before the end of the year to kind of make the decision of what I think.
Yeah, man, because the way you talked about this is why it's blowing my mind. You talked about Sinners.
Like, oh, dude, I love Sinners too. That was great as well.
So for you to say that this is Weapons is
it's there.
That, man, all right.
And the cast too. The cast in Weapons, and that's kind of what makes it rival Sinners, because Sinners was the same way. It's like the cast here, everybody is great. Like there is no weaknesses at all. So like, dude, what they do with Wong, oh man, dude, you're gonna if you ever watch it, you're gonna love it. Like that, I love.
He's a good actor anyway, so I like
and his role in this movie. I was a big fan of what they did with him, and then Josh Brolin too. He was great.
Yeah.
Even Julia Gardner. It's hard for me to not spoil things.
But she is in this movie, isn't she?
She is, yeah. They kind of set her up to be the main character, but then she's really not by the end. But she was good. I liked what they did with her. And then they had the guy, I can't remember his name, the guy who played young Solo in the prequel.
Oh, he's in this.
He's in it, and he plays a cop, and he's great. Like his arc in the movie, I really liked him. But yeah, man, overall, it was just I had high expectations going into it, and I still feel like they were met because it was so good.
Yeah, Julia Gardner looked like she's the one stealing kids. That's why.
Yeah. I won't say, they think it's her. I'll say that. They right off rip, they're like, yo, it's pretty suspicious that all these kids are in your classroom and they're all disappearing. So I get that.
No, that's some good setup. The way they set the commercials up. The previews.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that's the thing. That's what I think worked so well is the previews don't give you nothing. Really.
Okay,
like,
that's good.
A lot of what you see in the previews is like the first 20, 30 minutes of the movie, and then the rest is all new. So
okay, I like that.
I think that's what worked really well is like they really hid a lot of the big reveals and the big stuff that happens in the movie. So
I might just check it out tomorrow, man.
Yeah, dude, it's good.
I'll be back tomorrow. So
yeah, it's good, man. I can't.
Okay.
And the because I know you're not a huge horror guy, the horror elements of it aren't really. Like, it's more of a mystery thriller than anything. And then it becomes a horror once you find out what's going on. But the way
Okay.
that, like I said, the mystery of it is just it was so good. It was so good, man.
Okay.
It was so
Okay.
good. And then
All right.
yeah, and
Cool.
then Nobody Two. I'll just talk about that real quick because I'll be honest,
Okay.
I didn't like that one at all. Compared to
Really?
Weapons, yeah, man. So I didn't see. Like, it came out last week. I didn't see the first Nobody until 2 days before going to see Nobody Two, and I
Okay.
loved the first one. I thought the first one was
Yeah.
great. It was very fresh, unique, felt grounded. It was very similar to John Wick. I've heard that a
Yeah.
million times, and that's a justified complaint if people have it. But I thought Bob Odenkirk's performance, I thought the
Yeah.
groundedness of it, the different style, it was like a dark humor that they had
Yeah.
to it. I felt like that first one was just fantastic, and then in this one, it went way too into the comedy, the action comedy. It got goofy at some points where I'm like,
Okay.
I didn't like that. Like even Christopher Lloyd, he was in the first one and he was kind of like a darker presence in the first one.
Yeah.
And then in this one, he's just typical. He's fucking Doc Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like he's making like I was like, all right, man, come on. Now the action sequence is still great. I think because Bob Odenkirk is like how Keanu is, where like he does all the stunts, he trains for it. So in that aspect, like I still want to give him props, and he did a great job on there. But I
Mhm.
just think the script, the story they decided to tell was not great. Sharon Stone was the villain, and like she gives one of the most over the top cartoon villain roles I've literally ever seen. Um, I was just not a fan. I was not a fan at all. I was very
Real.
disappointed. Yeah, I mean, maybe on its own, if it was just it wasn't a sequel and it was just an action movie, I would have been a little more positive on it.
Uh,
But when you compare it to the first one, you're just like, ah, man, like it's just not as good, man. It's like with John Wick, it was pretty consistent for those four movies. This one, I was
yeah.
like, nah. The first one was up here, and then the second one, it was down here. So yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. So
Okay.
okay, yeah. So we'll move on. Just to kind of go through. I can stop, talking about my reviews and stuff. We'll move on. James Gunn. This kind of goes back to DC. This is going to be more about
Okay.
Superman. James Gunn obviously came out and said that he is doing a Superman saga, which I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what that even means.
I don't
You
need.
know, yeah, I was confused when he said that. But they did release some. He's talked about the sequel and how it's not going to be like a straight Superman sequel. It won't only be Superman. And then they released some behind the scenes videos of the first movie because it just released on digital, and there was some artwork that people found in the video, basically of Superman, Supergirl, Crypto, and what looked like they were looking up at Brainiac. So the internet's kind of run wild on speculation of, what, like, is that what we're going towards in the second movie where they're going to finally do Brainiac and it's going to be the whole family rather than just Superman? Um, so, I mean, I guess I don't know if you heard this or not, so maybe you're just
Yeah.
now
Yeah. No,
reacting.
I heard it.
So where are you excited about that when you hear that? As someone I know
Um.
who was not a huge fan of the first one.
Well, this is where I need James Gunn to be over exaggerated because the first one, uh, I just here's what I'm thinking I'm about to get. You laid this groundwork on Superman not being the strongest, or he's so when you get all these other people around, Alan, in every comic book, movie, or whatever, Superman has always been Superman. And
Yeah.
so now you're trying to change that. Dude, my mother called me and was like, that Superman is trash.
Damn.
My mom's a big comic
Damn.
book fan and she
Yeah.
loves sci-fi. She's a big like you don't have to, she'll come to the movies with us. Like she
Yeah.
loves this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh her seeing Galactus on the screen blew her mind.
Yeah.
So that's how big my mom is involved in it. So
Yeah.
when she seen that and said it like that, I was like,
Oof.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I need James Gunn to be over exaggerated, but I need you to not take away. You know, it's crazy. I'm not even a big Like I love Superman, but I'm not a big Superman fan. I'm more of a Marvel guy.
Yeah,
I do know a lot about DC. I love DC. I want DC so bad to outdo Marvel because
yeah.
I think they have the ability to do it. You got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman,
So
Flash,
many
all these
characters. Yeah,
characters.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They should be outdoing Marvel. And it's with this, it's like I need them to overdo it. I did hear what you heard, or seen, all this speculation or how they seen Brainiac in the back. I've never
yeah,
seen nobody bring Brainiac to the what's the name. So I
yeah,
seen Darkseid before I seen Brainiac. So
yeah.
I
Which is
love to
crazy
see,
when you think
yeah,
about it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So I think the route they're gonna go is the when I saw that is I don't know if you watched. It was with Superman and it was with Superman and Supergirl. It's a cartoon movie. I'm a fan. I'm gonna send it to you.
okay.
That's what it put me in the mind of. It's a good cartoon because the
That's what you
DC
think that they're
cartoons,
gonna adapt, basically,
yeah,
in this movie. Okay, yeah, yeah.
the DC cartoons are all good.
Oh, amazing! Oh my
They're
lord!
amazing. So
Yeah, yeah.
if they do that, I'm fine with that. Just don't make Superman into super lame, man. Like you did.
I'm assuming then you'll be very upset if they make Supergirl stronger than him.
I'll say this. So, okay, she's supposed to be a little stronger than him. She's
Yeah,
supposed to be because, uh, well, however they explained it, I don't know if it was like that really in the comics because I think
yeah,
this is something that's new that came about that they put that in. Um, because if you ever read the comic, like, dude, when I was little and I read The Death of Superman, let me tell you, my brother had the whole collection because it came in different books, but he had
yeah,
the whole. I read that, dude. Nobody could fight him except Superman.
yeah,
Supergirl tried to fight him. Everybody tried to fight. It was only Superman. So
yeah,
if they make that to where um uh, she's stronger than him, and it's like soup. Nah, I'm out, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
Well,
out.
I don't even like because I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know much about Supergirl from the comics. That's not been like I've read some comic storylines that she's been a part of with Superman, but
Yeah,
nothing of like her own, right? So
yeah,
I think obviously we got to get her movie because I'm pretty sure that's coming out next year first before she ends up getting into a Superman sequel with him before I kind of decide of like where they're at, power scale wise. I mean, I don't know. Like, I know you don't like the direction they kind of took with that first movie, but he did only get beat up by his clone, right? It wasn't like I mean, he did have a little bit of problems with the engineer on the when they were fighting on the baseball field, but
yeah,
um, James Gunn did explicitly in that opening sequence say that Superman is the most powerful metahuman on the planet. So I'm gonna hold him to that and hope that maybe we get a because I did like I agree with your complaints about the movie with that. I do feel like we saw him losing too many fights. We didn't get enough Superman, right? Like we didn't get enough of
yeah,
him being like, "Hey, I'm the one," right? Like I'm him, you
yeah,
know. Until the end, like we got it at the end, right at the
yeah,
end, and I want to see a little bit more. I want James Gunn to justify what he said in those opening credits and give us a little bit more
yeah,
of
yeah,
Superman being the most powerful superhero because that's what he is. That's the appeal of Superman. That it's like nobody can touch this dude. Like that's just
yeah,
always what it's been. They had to invent kryptonite to have something in the books to even you know even
remotely.
the yeah even to level the playing field. Like so I want to see that. That's what I want.
So going back to what you said about Supergirl being stronger than him, uh, she's stronger than Wonder Woman, but she can't beat Wonder Woman. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So it's just those things like, okay, if you're gonna do that, you still need to make it where it's still Superman. Don't take that away. Yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
add that, fine. Fine, add that. But It's still Superman. It's still uh uh uh, uh it's about him.
Yeah.
Um, I don't care if he got all the plot armor in the world.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
so um I'm like I said, I got a love-hate relationship with James Gunn.
Yeah.
So I want to see him bring this, whatever idea you have, bring it, you know, bring it to the, I want to see it. I want to see it get done.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm rooting for DC. Remember when we
Yeah.
went to go see that first Justice League and we all were just like, what is this, man?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we
And then we watched the Snyder cut and we're like,
were
this is
like,
what we wanted.
what?
Yeah.
Yes. Like,
Yeah.
dude, this you literally this is why Zack Snyder to me, man, just he did it.
Yeah.
And it got snatched away from us. He literally had a whole movie without Superman until he came to the
Yeah.
end, and we were all
And it
still
was
invested.
perfect. Yeah. It was
It was
perfect. Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Dude, they made me care. That is the only movie that I liked Ezra Miller's Flash. It's the only one.
that's it. That's
I
it.
didn't even
And what
really like him in his own movie, but in
and
Zack Snyder's Justice League, I liked that version of the Flash.
see what he did with Ezra Miller. Remember when we was watching or when we watch Eternals and we seen the speedster on Eternal?
Yeah, yeah.
That's arguably the best speedster that we've seen in a movie,
So,
right?
yep, I agree. Yeah,
So everybody was wondering, like, why couldn't they do that? Well, if you actually look at what Zack Snyder was doing,
yeah.
some of the stuff that he was doing with Ezra Miller, he was doing that.
He was doing. Yeah,
He
exactly.
was doing the only time they slowed it down, and which I love this part, and I know we kind of getting off
No, you're good.
uh,
Yeah,
the only time that he slowed it down, and it was like for a reason, and it blew everybody out the theater,
the
is when
Speed
he
Force.
slowed it down. When he went up, when he was fighting, when they was fighting Superman, when he
Yeah.
came back to life,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
Superman looked at him,
yeah. That was great. Yeah,
dude, blew
but
my mind.
but the thing that I loved about that is it was still in the Snyder cut, so that means it was a scene that Zack Snyder did, not what they did with
Yeah, it was a scene.
Joss
It was a
Whedon.
scene.
Yep.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
was a scene. He was just detailing.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not the. It was just a detail in that
Yeah.
that just blew our mind. But if you look at the part where he was saving the when they first fought against uh, uh, Steppenwolf,
Yeah.
and the rocks was falling. Did you just see him zip through, crush
Yeah.
all? So
Oh,
it was
that
like,
was so good. So good.
dude.
Yeah.
So again, I'll give it James Gunn a chance because
Yeah.
James has always given me, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm with it. If you're gonna bring Brainiac, cool, bring it.
Yeah.
Um,
A
and
part of me
then
wonders though, and it kind of piggybacks off of what you said before. James now is kind of in a role at DC where he is like Kevin Feige, where
yep,
he is at the head of the ship.
yeah,
How much that makes me not want to really see him being a director and writing scripts for specific movies,
yeah,
because that you
yeah,
think like,
yeah.
are you going to have enough focus on these other movies that you're not going to be at the helm of to build out the greater universe, right? Because like, yeah, I like that he seems like he wants to take his time. He doesn't want to rush to Justice League, but are you
So
going to
let me
be
actually.
focusing on the right things going into something like that? Is where I'm a little
So
concerned.
was that what Zack Snyder was doing? Because Zack Snyder had a hand in Wonder Woman. He had the
Yeah,
first one, and
yeah.
so
No,
that's okay.
so it was much different back then.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't realize that at that time there was no like DC studios. It was
Oh,
all
okay.
ran by Warner Brothers.
Warner Brother. Okay.
Yeah. Now when they got bought, and I don't know who the new guy is that runs Warner Brothers in total. I can't remember his name. Zaslav, David
Okay.
Zaslav. He came in and he said, "We want to do what like Disney is doing, where we have our own studio for DC, and it's not
Okay.
Warner Brothers that's doing it." So James, like Kevin Feige, and Peter Safran are the heads of DC Studios.
Got you.
That's
So
what they focus on, right?
so you're saying so if you're gonna take a Kevin Feige position, take a Kevin Feige position.
Exactly. And now I understand.
Executive producer,
Yeah.
but you're
Yes.
okay.
Not director, right? Like
Right.
I understand why for the first movie he wanted to do that. It makes sense. It makes sense why for the first movie he wanted to make sure that he got it right and he wanted to be on it.
Okay.
But going forward, that's why I'm like, I don't even really know if I want him doing a Superman sequel. Because it's like, dude, you got to take a step back and start building the universe now that you laid the groundwork.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
so
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
yeah. So hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully it works out, and like you said, DC can take off and kind of have its own success because they need it,
They
especially with
need
the
it,
blunder.
man.
They had Zach, and I feel like what we were going to get with them was going to be great and something that was different from Marvel, but they blundered it. So all we can do at this
Yeah.
point is move on and hope for the best. So
Yeah. I'm with you.
yep. All right, real quick, we'll go through these last topics real quick. Doomsday, we're going to just kind of quickly go through some of the updates. Ryan Reynolds has been confirmed, at least by the trades. It hasn't been Marvel or anything that's confirmed him. But they said that Ryan Reynolds is coming back, which more than likely, I know it hasn't been talked about yet. That means Hugh Jackman's coming back, especially
Yeah.
after Deadpool and Wolverine. And then there's that rumor, essentially, that there's going to be multiple different teams that are happening in this film. You're going to have the
Okay.
Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the New Avengers with Sam Wilson, the Thunderbolts, which they're technically the New Avengers.
Yeah.
So there's going to be separate teams. They're saying that essentially, like, Ryan Reynolds is going to be involved with the TVA, which makes sense, right? Because that's where
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine mostly took place.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like Team Loki. So he's going to be on a multiversal team. Some people have said that they think it'll be Hugh Jackman, it'll be Tobey Maguire, it'll be other multiversal variants of other characters.
Okay. I did
So
hear. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm excited for that. Obviously, that makes me happy. I love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I know people want to
Yeah.
hate on him now because of all the drama and everything going on with him and his wife, which I could care less about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love him in this role, and I was excited to hear that news.
Yeah. Yeah. I was too.
Yeah.
I did hear too the angle. I heard some leaks.
Okay.
So
We'll get into him on here. I don't really care. We're going.
Okay.
We're talking about him. Yeah, we're talking about him.
So Emergency Awesome has always been a trusted kind of
Great page. I love
great
it. Yeah,
page.
he's great. Yeah.
So what he's saying, the angle they're going, and I do like this, and so I think we talked about it where he doesn't do. So first and foremost, I think they're going to kill Thor.
Yeah. We
But
talked about that last time.
We talked. Okay, so Thor is going to be the big kill.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with that, and then I guess they're going to bring him back because they really feel like they got it's like unfinished business with Thor with Chris Hemsworth. So I did hear about the TVA or the local team. So what I'm hearing is once Thor dies, that's what gets Loki out of his seat to try to fight, and then Doom takes control. But he thinks he's the hero in this because he's trying to stop incursions. That's one of the reasons why he has Franklin Richards with him. Because he's trying to stop all these incursions from taking place.
Yeah.
So there's a couple other things out here that I heard.
I was going to say, so I was going to ask you because I heard something else too about that.
What's that?
One of the people that he is going after is Chris Evans, Captain America.
Yeah.
Who went back to go with Peggy at the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
And that caused an incursion.
That caused an incursion, yep.
I'm going to be honest. If they do that, I'm going to love that. I'm going to love that because, look, I know. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we saw Endgame together, dude. I cried like a baby at the end of that movie. Okay, all right. And it was such a satisfying ending for him. But
Yeah, yeah,
that is the
yeah,
most clever way possible for them to bring him back and tie it into the story of Doomsday. That's the it's
yeah,
because that's always
yeah.
been a dangling threat. That's always been something because people have always wanted a Disney Plus special where it shows how he went back and put all the Infinity Stones back and all that.
I didn't want that for real. I,
I didn't
leave
either.
it
I was kind
open.
of like, I could take or leave that, right? Because I don't want that to be the
Yeah,
last thing that we saw of him. But
yeah,
now that there's this rumor that he's in this movie, and it's going to be because of what he did at the end of Endgame is going to cause this. That to me is just
this makes
so
sense though. This makes a
yeah.
lot.
It ties it all
Yeah,
back
this makes
together.
sense.
Yeah,
Be-
yeah,
Yeah, because you now you think about it. With him going back, we never. First off, we never thought about that. But now
yeah.
you think about it, he was never supposed to be in that timeline.
Nope,
He
nope.
was never supposed to be there. So now
Yeah,
this makes sense.
yeah.
I'm with this. I'm with this,
And
dude.
that
I'm
and
with
that
this.
it was always there too because they talked about how when they even though they went back and they put the stones back, just
Yeah,
like with Loki in the TV series, it still caused because of him doing something different, not just with the Infinity
yeah,
Stone, it caused another branch to go.
right.
So even though Steve went back and he put all the stones back,
You
him
still,
going back to Peggy caused another branch timeline,
yep,
which in turn would cause an incursion, which then in
causing a
turn
surgeon.
would want Doctor Doom to go after him. And
Yeah,
we talked about how obviously with them casting Robert Downey Jr., we're going to get a lot of moments of the Avengers who saw him, who see him, and maybe they think it's Iron
yeah,
Man. What is Steve's reaction going to be when he sees that it's him for the first time? Like, I'm like, dude, just thinking about it, I'm like,
yeah, bro.
man,
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
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 more and more that I'm thinking about this angle that they're going is like more and more uh I'm just like I'm invested.
yeah.
This is Marvel has always done a good job. Even when they kind of took a downward spiral, the story, the continuing the stories um has always been on point. Like
It
even
has.
with they started with the incursion thing with what Doctor Strange
Yeah, yeah.
uh trying to jump that off and I like Multiverse of Madness. I thought that
I
was
do
a
too.
very good
Yeah,
I
I
thought
think
that
it
was a
gets
very
it
good
gets too much hate. I don't know why. I don't know why, but
I don't know why neither, but this is
yeah,
to me that was a doctor. If it was the first Doctor Strange movie was cool because you introduced Doctor Strange, but that movie felt like a strange situation in the
yeah,
comics,
yeah.
So uh, uh, I love that. So I'm liking them bringing in this, even how they're introducing uh, other characters, because it's also speculated that he's gonna take Sentry's power.
Yeah.
So just putting all this is Marvel. I love
They
this.
set the Easter eggs and the nuggets. They laid the
Yep.
groundwork. Yeah,
You've
yeah,
seen that power from him turning into spec to the void, and
yeah.
that's something that could possibly be used. Dude, he had like infinity. That void character was like an infinity stone power.
Oh, yeah. Crazy, crazy, bro.
So
Yeah,
you would think like, dude, they're getting so far away from the Infinity Stones with this, I
yeah,
love it. So because I do believe what Kevin Feige said. A little bit of it, I do believe. We did get like that peak in with Endgame in the Infinity Wars. Like what peaks that? So now that they're coming back with these they're going in a whole different direction, giving us all this stuff. They gave us Galactus. They're giving all this. I'm appreciative of it, man. I really want to see this storyline take place with Doom because he's such a big character. Another thing too, I gotta find it, I gotta send it to you. It says something about Ultron. Right here. Is it like it's frozen?
You here? Can you hear me?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Damn, I don't know what happened. I just like cut out randomly. Okay. Were you good the whole time or did you
Yeah, I
cut
was
out?
just sitting there. No, I
Okay,
didn't
my
cut out.
bad.
No, you
I don't know
good.
what happened. My internet wasn't working for like 5 seconds. I
Dude,
don't know
they
what
had
happened.
this, yeah, it was like you was sitting there just looking at me.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, dang, man,
I'll have,
this poker face.
yeah, no. I'll have to go back and watch that. It was probably funny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you kind of cut out when we were talking about the Void and how they're going away from essentially the
Yeah.
Infinity Stones and those powers and everything there.
Yeah. So I did hear something. I got to go back over it and I got to look up
Yeah.
what I saw. It might just be a rumor, but they said something about Ultron.
Yes, I've heard that too. Uh-oh. Am I losing you again?
I would love if you hear. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yep.
Hello? Yeah. I would love them to bring Ultron to me as such a big character, huge character. Dude, I just got into it with on this comic book this page. Me and this guy was going back and forth about Ultron. And I said, look, I don't have a problem with them having Tony create him, even though Hank Pym is the one that created him in the comic books. I'm
Yeah.
cool with that.
Yeah.
But to make Ultron a one movie,
Yeah.
just so if they're having rumors about bringing him back, I would love for them to bring him back.
Well, and I wonder if it's the same thing I heard about how basically Doom is going to have a team of villains. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's what you
yeah,
heard. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
So
And I heard that too. That's also going to have King Thanos,
yeah,
which I'm definitely excited to see. And I wonder if that means we're going to get that one panel, the comic panel from the comics where he rips his spine out. Maybe that happens still at some
you
point
think
in
so?
time.
Oh, so
Yeah, maybe.
yeah,
Hey, you
yeah,
never know.
yeah,
Once he gets super powerful, and he's like, maybe I don't know, Thanos
yeah.
tests him somehow, and he's just like, boom, just fucks him up.
Because if it makes sense, because if he's trying to get all these timelines in check,
Yeah.
and then do they still stick with the timeline? Okay, or stick with the storyline where he figures out Kane, because they still talking about there will be references of Kane
Yeah.
in these movies. So because I remember we talked about that
Yeah.
storyline. So I'm wondering if all of that is going to be tied in together.
I think if Kang makes an appearance, it's probably going to be at the beginning of the movie for them to establish how strong Doom really is. They're going to
Okay.
show him. I think it'll just be to show Doom wiping him and all the console Kang out, and then that's it.
Okay.
Which I know
Okay.
if Dave's watching, I know he'll be upset about that. But
Oh yeah, big time. He's gonna be upset. Yeah, he's gonna be upset.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I don't know. I'm like, I don't think they've handled obviously this whole like multiverse saga as well as they did the Infinity Saga. But I
Yeah.
think they set up enough nuggets in each of these projects where they can do something good here. And maybe the whole experience will, like, I don't think we'll ever get anything that we got in that Infinity Saga. That was just such a lightning in a bottle and such a crazy, consistent time of great film after great film. Like, that was we're gonna look back on that and be like, damn, I can't believe we actually lived through that time, and we're going to.
It was the first of its kind.
Yeah,
remember, it was the first of its kind. We got trilogies, like we got Lord of the Rings, we got Matrix, and things like that. But something where it built like again, like you're reading a comic
universe.
Book. Yeah, that was the first of its kind, man. So
and just for it to be so cohesive. And even though it was like different characters that were clearly different genres, and it just still tied together so well, I just don't think. Yeah. I think expectation-wise, I don't think we'll ever get there. Like, it'll just never happen again. We could get close, but and maybe individual movies might be better than others, but where we were in those first three phases, I just don't think we can get that again. But with that, like I said, with that being said,
Well,
oh, go ahead.
you no, I was just thinking like, well, there's so much story that hasn't been told.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
like honestly, to what you're to, this why I'm gonna say this is kind of unfair what you're saying because in the comic books, nothing's like the Infinity Saga. So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's you know what I'm saying, like
yeah,
it's kind of unfair only because that storyline with Thanos is just in its own. Nobody like even in the comic books, nobody's seen that kind
yeah.
of build up at that time.
Come,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
yeah,
You're
so
right. Yeah,
here's what I want to do. And, no, what you're saying is true. Is I'm just saying I can't put that in the category of what they're trying to do now. I just kind of keep that separate from,
exactly. Yeah,
just
yeah,
to keep, because what they're trying to do now with the Doom and even bringing us this Galactus and the Silver Surfer, all these characters now finally giving us a Fantastic Four
yeah,
where we're like, so I'm kind of like new. I want to be new. Just
yeah.
leave Infinity Sock. Dude, I always go
Away.
back and
Yeah.
watch those movies, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, so if whatever direction they're going and getting out of that, I mean DC ain't even started, so
yeah.
they got a long way to
I
go.
know
You know,
we're still almost 10 years after the fact, and they
come
still
on,
aren't even
man.
compared yet. Yeah,
So with Marvel, I think a lot of times we do that comparison
yeah,
with the Russo brothers did. Now they're back. They're probably going to give us something, So I'm just so prepared to just leave Infinity Stones. I mean, leave
yeah.
Infinity Saga alone and
Stop
love it.
comparing it. Yeah, yeah. I
Just
agree.
give us this new and like I said, what you're saying is true though.
Yeah,
It is true. We just get so caught into comparing it.
the past. Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
agree.
So
I agree. I think we're at that point too, where I think if Doomsday and Secret Wars like really capture the audiences like
yeah, yeah,
could, I think we
yeah,
will get to that point where we move on. And then plus two, like I think the problem so far with this whole saga is that like we didn't really have anyone to like we did that
yeah,
original Avengers group. Like we
yeah,
didn't have a
yeah, yeah.
that's I think the problem. So, but I think when we get into this new era, even after Secret Wars, with like you said, the Fantastic Four that we now actually like and actually want to see more
Yeah,
of, we get a new X-Men. We'll start to get
yeah,
better,
yeah.
and people will start to move on and feel better about it.
Because if they're so what they're trying to do is make just one universe. So they're kicking all this
Yeah.
off to kill off, make one
Yep.
universe, and just start brand new. That's why I say I'm just so on board with this. If they're
Yeah.
gonna give me a new, it's gonna be hard. Give me a new Iron Man. Give me a new Cap.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Uh,
Don't do that.
like yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
be hard because um, those guys coined it. Like you,
Yeah.
you can't,
You
you
can't
can't,
replicate that. Yeah. You
yeah,
can't.
you can't replicate that. So if
Yeah.
you're gonna go in this new direction, just make it all new. I'm cool with the storyline where they're going back and like Chris Evans comes, with the whole
Yeah.
incursions and stuff like that. I'm cool. I'm even on train with Robert Downey Jr. now that I know what direction they're trying to go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
I'm
he's
cool
gonna
with
be
that.
back. He's gonna be Iron Man in those two movies too. It's not just two.
Yeah, no. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm cool with all that. But
Yeah. He's
if you're about
definitely.
to,
Yeah.
yeah. So I like, yeah. This why I say I don't know, Alan. This might give us because they're adding so much, and like you just said, we're not attached to anything right now
Yeah.
because the only people we can possibly be attached to is the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
We're not even
Yeah.
attached to the Thunderbolts. Like I love the movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you're not
Well, and again,
attached. So
I think that goes back to like what I was saying, where it's like we didn't get enough of anyone specifically in
yeah,
this whole era. It's
yeah.
like, by the time we got to the first Avengers, we saw Robert Downey Jr. like 4 times already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And in this one, it's like, oh, we got characters we like, but how many times have we seen them since?
Yeah.
The last time they were in a project.
Yeah.
And I think that's been the problem. True. But if they frame this movie as kind of a culmination of all of it, rather than just a culmination of this saga, that can work. That can make it better, right?
Yeah. So I'm cool. I'm good with the direction. I understand why we got attached to because of that. The bigger picture was to me it was about Tony and Thanos. To me it was like that was the end game.
Yeah, literally. That's what he said in Age of Ultron. Yeah. But that's the end game up there. Yeah.
That's the end game.
Yeah.
So with this, everything scattered. It's giving me a new direction. So I'm good with that.
Absolutely. So. And I think too, like obviously the Kang situation didn't help either. Because they were setting that up.
Yeah, they were setting that up. They were.
Yeah. And now that they had to kind of pivot, and we've obviously talked about that and how crazy that was and ridiculous it was. But
Dave, if you're watching, I'm gonna say something that you might not like. I'm not saying I'm glad that Kane. I think if they would have presented Kane now, it would have been better because what they had going on at that time, like bringing out Ant-Man and Wasp, that movie was trash. The only people that made it, person that made it good was Kane.
It was Kane, yeah.
The Loki saga was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I think where they're going now with this is a way better direction than what they were going to do with Kane.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we've talked about it publicly, but I know we've texted about it. The Secret War storyline is Doom's story. That was always Doom's story. So the fact that they were trying to originally do it with Kang was already kind of a shaky foundation.
Exactly.
And, so I think we're getting to the right place. It just was a little shaky getting there, right? It was not
shaky.
They didn't have enough time to set it up like maybe they wanted to. But
if you continue with Kang, how do you bring in Doom? If you continue with Kang, how do you bring in Doom? I couldn't hear you. Was breaking up. What'd you say?
I think they were going to bring in Kang like post Secret Wars. Once the reboot already happened, that's when they were going to get into it. But that wouldn't have been that's not how the comics works. That's not his storyline. That's not what they're supposed to do.
They already took Hulk's storyline and gave it to Thor when he went with that Ragnarok nonsense. So I'm not so it doesn't work. So
it doesn't. Yeah. And I think Feige realizes that because he knows that when he doesn't always stick 100% to the comics, but when he keeps the storylines with the characters, it works out.
Yeah,
even if they change the storyline, and because like Civil War wasn't like Civil War in the comics, but it was still Cap and Iron Man. It was that was what it was. So when they do that, that's when they have the most success. Not when they try to switch it up as much as they have.
I'm with you.
All right, man. Well, we've been going for a while here. I mean, we had a couple other topics, but I kind of saved the ones I didn't really care about for last, just in case this happened.
I got you.
So we're good. So obviously the 7th episode of Scene and Screen. I'm going to try to continue doing this more consistently. Me and Ronell had talked about, how we want to maybe have other people on as well. So we'll keep that, we'll keep updates going on that and keep going forward. Although next week, I don't know if I'm going to be on. I'm actually going to a horror convention downtown on Sunday. So that'll be really fun. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be home in enough time. So we might have to skip out on next week, but we'll kind of talk and figure stuff out from there. But anyone who's watching, obviously I'm AG Reviews on TikTok, YouTube, by continuing to do these shows, continuing to put out reviews. I've been going on Darren's page to talk Dexter Resurrection. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I haven't talked to him yet about it. And then, I'm on console pretty consistently as well. So gonna keep grinding and hope to have more shows with you as well, Ronell. I always enjoy doing this and kind of bringing our post movie theater conversations to the internet. So people can kind of see how it is when you go to the theater with us.
Yeah, this was just we used to sit after the movies, maybe about 45 to an hour.
Doing
just
this.
talking. Yep. So this is
I mean we even did it for Fantastic Four last month.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah. So yeah. So all right, man. Well, it was great doing this. And then everybody who's watching, everyone have a great night.
All right, peace.
See you later.